before fame, before luxury, and before the world started watching every move of Cristiano Ronaldo, he was already one of the most famous athletes on the planet, living a life filled with pressure, discipline, success, and global attention. But even with all his achievements in football, something was still missing in his personal life. Something emotional, something real, something beyond fame. And that missing piece would arrive unexpectedly in Madrid through a simple moment that would change everything forever. When Ronaldo walked into a luxury store where a young woman named Georgina Rodríguez was working, she was living a completely normal life at that time, working in retail, serving customers, and trying to build her future with hard work, without any idea that her life was about to enter one of the most famous relationships in the world. When Ronaldo entered the store, there was no dramatic moment, no spotlight, just a normal interaction between a global football superstar and a working girl. But something subtle happened in that moment because Georgina recognized him immediately as one of the biggest athletes in the world. Yet she did not overreact or behave differently. She stayed calm, respectful, and natural, and that authenticity caught Ronaldo's attention because he was used to people treating him like a celebrity. Not a human, but she treated him normally, and that simple difference created curiosity in his mind. After that first meeting, their paths started crossing more often in Madrid, not in public headlines or media events, but in private and natural moments, where conversations slowly grew from basic interaction into deeper connection. Ronaldo, who lived under constant pressure of football, fame, expectations, and criticism as Cristiano Ronaldo, started finding something rare in Georgina, peace and emotional balance. And Georgina, who had never experienced fame before, slowly entered a completely different world filled with luxury, private jets, stadiums, and global attention. But instead of being overwhelmed, she adapted step by step, learning how to handle a life that was completely different from her own. As time passed, their connection became stronger, not through dramatic events, but through consistent understanding, shared moments, and emotional stability, because Ronaldo's life was extremely intense with training, matches, recovery, pressure from fans and media, and in that environment, having someone who treated him like a normal person became extremely valuable, and Georgina became that emotional anchor in his life, slowly becoming part of his world, part of his family, and part of his daily routine, while Ronaldo continued his journey in football, playing at the highest level, dominating Europe, moving from Real Madrid to Juventus, then returning to Manchester United, and later continuing his career in Saudi Arabia with Al Nassr. And throughout all these changes, Georgina stayed by his side, adjusting to new countries, new lifestyles, and new challenges, while also building her own identity as a public figure. And together, they created a unique relationship that existed between private life and global fame. Because while the world saw luxury, fashion, events, and social media highlights, behind the scenes, their real life was about responsibility, parenting, emotional support, and balancing pressure, especially because Ronaldo already had children, and Georgina stepped into a family environment that required maturity, patience, and understanding. And over time, she became a strong part of the family structure, supporting Ronaldo not just emotionally, but also in everyday life decisions. And what makes their story even more interesting is that despite being constantly in the public eye, they managed to protect their private bond, dealing with rumors, media attention, and public speculation that naturally comes with fame. But instead of letting it break them, they stayed consistent and focused on their relationship and family, because fame alone cannot sustain love at this level, and their connection grew stronger through real experiences, real challenges, and real life situations. And today, they are seen as one of the most followed couples in the world, representing a mix of luxury lifestyle and emotional family life. But the truth behind their story is simple. Two completely different worlds collided. One side, a football legend built on discipline, obsession, and success. And the other side, a hard-working woman from a simple background. And together, they created a shared life that continues to evolve in real time. And that is what makes their journey so unique. Because it is not just a love story, it is a story of adaptation, emotional strength, and survival under global attention. And it shows that even at the highest level of fame and success, human connection still matters the most. And behind all the trophies, records, and fame, there is still a need for understanding, support, and real emotional connection. And that connection became the foundation of their relationship. And if you enjoyed this cinematic documentary story and want more real, emotional football stories like this, then make sure to subscribe to the channel for more inspiring life journeys, football documentaries, and real stories from the world of sports.